शुद्ध ज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये। The quality of our life is determined by the state of our mind. When we look at how our minds function, it's amazing to see that the mind is either moving in the past or it is moving in the future. We are angry about the past or we are anxious about the future. Every moment this oscillation of mind is happening constantly. More the oscillation and prolong the oscillation of mind, the tension and stress gets stored in our nervous system. So it comes to a point where the quality of life completely goes down, goes into deterioration. When even living becomes very difficult for people. There doesn't seem to be any joy or love, which everyone aspires in life to be, which brings the quality into our lives. So this, knowing this nature of mind, which either goes to the past, worries about the past, worries about the future, and bringing it to the moment, the present moment. Not just as a concept in the mind, okay, I should live in the moment. This everyone knows. But having it manifest physically, this is essential. Seeing that this moment is alive in every cell of our body. All our emotions, our thoughts, they get stored in each and every cell of our body. Even scientists today say this, that when you are angry, you are not just angry in one part. This anger permeates and spreads and gets stored in every cell of our body. So also frustration, when you get frustrated, and the frustration gets stored in every part. So when anger, frustrations are removed, joy dawns in each cell of our body. Then the joy which is from the very depth of us, we are able to smile from our hearts. And such a peace dawns which cannot be shaken by anything whatsoever. So our life can never be improved if we don't leave this aspect. We don't leave every moment in peace and joy. If we can't perceive this from every cell of our body, then it can be only a sort of mood making. It's not a reality. It doesn't dawn in life as reality. No? One needs to be more aware of one's own faculties. See, we have 7 layers of our existence: body, breath, then mind, intellect, memory, ego, self. But we are not aware of our own faculties. We are not aware of our own body. We are not aware of our head till we get a headache. When leg starts aching, then we become aware of our legs and hands. This very body, though we are in it, we live as though it's foreign to us. We are not familiar with our own body. We are not familiar with the laws that govern our mind. Anything that you resist, that will persist in the mind. We are not aware of these laws. Simple laws that govern our mind. Simple laws about our breath. We have been breathing day and night, but we are not aware of our breath. We are not aware of what we want. Many people are not aware of their botherations, their problem. They are in botheration, they are bothered, but they don't know they are bothered of what. Because we have never looked into our mind, our intellect, our memory, our ego, and the laws that govern these inner faculties. With awareness of our inner faculties, our body, our breath, the tension, stresses dissolve, and life grows. It's like you give some space for the flower to bloom. We have bottled a flower, bottled a bud. It is suffocating there. It wants to bloom. It needs some fresh air, some freedom, some opening. Practices of self-development or even spiritual development, they just provide you an opportunity for the bud to bloom into a flower. It opens it up. Have any questions?
Can you tell us a little bit about what's taught in the course?
In the program, nothing is taught. It's neither a preaching session or teaching session. You will not be taught anything. But you will be made aware of something very deep, something very vital to one's life. So it is you who will discover as you move inward. You see, oh, this is here. I have never seen this before. I have never experienced this before. It has already been there. So it is nothing that comes from outside but self-discovery. You go deep into yourself and discover and open up. And in the program, it creates very scientific and very systematic steps by which you can dive into your inner realms.
Panditji, I'm already practicing a form of meditation. Would this weekend teach me another form of meditation? I'm already involved in self-development. Will it conflict with what I'm doing already?
No. If you are already practicing any form of meditation, that is fine. This will only deepen your practice much more. It doesn't give you another technique to just go on, but it makes you aware of the goal of all techniques. See, the very goal of any technique is to be aware of the being. Now with this you will identify the being and know its nature. What is being? There is so much talk about self-realization, but what is the self? What is it? That experience dawns in the program.
I understand that there's a breathing technique.
Can
you speak a little bit about that?
This is Sudarshan Kriya. See, in nature, when you see there is a rhythm in the nature, particular seasons come and winter comes after fall and spring comes after winter and after spring comes the summer. There is a pattern in the creation. There is a rhythm in the creation. And when you see in your own body, there is a rhythm in your own body too. You feel hungry at certain time and you feel sleepy at certain time, and body also follows a particular rhythm. Life has a particular rhythm. Now, similarly, your breath also goes in a particular pattern, rhythm. And your emotions move in a particular rhythm. And your thoughts move in a rhythm. And all these rhythms, various levels, arise from your being, which has its own rhythm. In Kriya, Sudarshan Kriya, we get into the rhythm of our being and see how that being is permeating in our emotions and thoughts and breath and the body. And in a short period, half an hour, 20, half an hour, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, there is huge purification taking place. With the Sudarshan Kriya, what happens? Every cell of the body, some of you have experienced, every cell of the body becomes so alive and releases all the toxins, all the negative emotions it has stored from time past. So one feels completely renewed physically, mentally, and elevated spiritually. Number of people have experienced various benefits out of the Kriya. It's a very beautiful technique, the Sudarshan Kriya. Sudarshan means the proper vision, right darshan, the right vision. Kriya means action. The action that is happening in us through breath and life energy, every moment we go deep into it with the rhythms. It's very beautiful technique. It's very beautiful technique.
Can you explain how this is different than traditional psychology?
Psychology deals with the study of mind. Mind is just a wave of the being. Being is the source of mind. So here this is study in the depth of the ocean. Psychologist means just watching the waves on the surface. And now the practice to do with the being, with the self, which is beyond thoughts, emotions and feelings, is like diving into the ocean, like the scuba diving. You go deep into it and then discover what all of the treasure, wealth that is deep in the very ocean.
How can this make someone more creative in their daily life so that they're able to solve their problems themselves?
See, consciousness is the source of creativity. And what could clog the creativity is distress and vacillation of the mind in the past or future. With Kriya, what happens? The mind comes to the present moment so totally that all these past impressions and tensions or future fears simply disappear, those moments. So one is more clear and sharp in one's mind and awareness. So sharp and clear mind is basis of creativity. No?
Will this knowledge affect my relationships with other people?
See, your mind affects your relationship with people. So anything that could cleanse your mind, which could make your mind more calm and serene, will definitely affect your relationship, your surroundings, your dealings with people.
Will this conflict with my religion or my spiritual practice?
No, no, not at all. It is nothing to do with the religion at all. It's to do with the basic laws pertaining to ourself, our body, mind, and this whole complex. It can deepen your faith and bring more devotion and love in your practices, in your daily life. You may become more, I wouldn't say sensitive, but more receptive and more open.
Are all breathing techniques the same, or is this special in some way?
This is not just another breathing technique, because it's breathing is an integral aspect of the technique, but it is not all that is. It goes beyond your mind to your being, to your emotions, and cleans the whole system. No? There are pranayamas, what's also called breathing techniques. So you breathe in, inhale, and exhale, you hold the breath. This is nothing to do with that. It will be very clear once you do it first time, you will notice that it brings the rhythm in the system. It flows by itself. There is not effort in the technique at all. It is effortless. It flows very effortlessly.
Is it very difficult to learn or to practice?
No. Couple after 2 days, 3 days, one has to be in contact with, there are several instructors. 2-3 days they will put you on, rolling on it.
Is this the same thing as meditation?
No, meditation follows the technique. You do, then what happens afterwards? Your mind becomes so calm, serene, collective. That is meditation, is there already.
Do I have to change my lifestyle in any way before I can?
No, not necessary. And another advantage of the Kriya is, what people have reported is that they could come back to themselves very fast. See, suppose you get upset. I don't say that you will never get upset in life. If anybody promises like that, you will do, after doing something you will never get upset, it's not true. So you may still get upset, you may still get a little worried, but the quality will be totally different. See, like when you get upset, that continues for over such a long period of time, maybe 3-4 weeks or 2-3 days, several hours. Now with the Kriya, what people have reported is, in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, they can come back to themselves. Whatever moods they go into, whether depression or anger, or they lose their balance, it doesn't take them a long time to come back as it used to be for them before. Now it comes almost instantaneously, they become aware, and then they let go. And this one is able to smile.
seems like some of the benefits you're talking about in this program are similar to positive thinking and controlling your thoughts. Is that true?
I see positive thinking in a very different manner. Positive thinking will not help so much as when you attend to the source of thought, from where both positive and negative thoughts come. See, why a negative thought comes? Let's just see. Why do you get a negative thought? Or how do you get a negative thought? No? You will see behind every negative thought there is tension, there is stress, there is fear. Fear, tension, stress causes the coming of a negative thought. Now, without attending to the very source of negative thought, if we try to overlap it with a positive thought, you create more conflict in the mind. So the more you try to think positive, the more negative thoughts will come. So in fact, you are encouraging more negative thoughts by imposing a positive thought on your mind. It's like a pendulum, you swing to one direction, you pull it to one direction, it will swing to the other direction. So that is not a very intelligible way of dealing with our mind. How to overcome negative thoughts is to attend to the source of negative thoughts, that are the stresses, tensions. And that can be dealt only when we dive deep into our being. And when we could release them from every cell of our body. No?
What effect does this practice have on relationships and the way we feel inside?
See, however you try to hide what you feel, it definitely reflects in your face, in your actions. You cannot hide actually, 100%. So when you feel good, naturally your relationship will be good, proper. Just trying to work outside on the relationship aspect without feeling good deep inside, it doesn't seem to work. We have seen hundreds of people around us and who are trying to be something what one is not. So being unnatural creates much more tension. So for some period one says, okay, agrees with it, and a point comes where one completely bursts off. No? That is where there is a need to go into the very source and then come from there. And it's not difficult at all. Simple.
It seems to me that whatever practice I do, I'm always stuck with the ego. Could you say something about getting stuck in the ego?
You would have heard many people say, erase the ego, shouldn't have ego, and ego should be destroyed and killed. And then you try to do it, and you are trying to do that is another ego. So in fact you are strengthening it more. That is not the way. Just be natural self, your natural self. Then the ego gets transformed. The ego expands, gets transformed. To me, being egoistic is, or having an ego means being unnatural. If one is natural, open, just like a child, accepting every moment, living every moment, there is no ego. And feeling one with everybody. Having a sense of belonging, saying, oh, all these people, everybody belong to me. The ego comes with the other, this is me and that is somebody other, this other.
Banerjee, why does this practical wisdom seem to always come from the East? That when we look for wisdom like this, it seems to always come from somebody like yourself, and we assume that you're leading a state of grace, or that you're in a state of enlightenment, and that you can have things that you can offer to those of us in the West that somebody who's an American or somebody who's from Western Europe possibly could not. Is this a popular misconception on the part of a lot of us who are Western?
No, wisdom does not belong to East or West. Like science does not belong to East or West. Science belongs to the whole entire globe. Now, if someone in the East says, oh, the planes are discovered in the West, it's nothing to do with us. Or if they say the Newton's law is of West, it will not hold good in the East, then they are making a big mistake. So like Newton's law of gravitation is common, though it was discovered in the West, it is common to the East. It is as much as for the East, as much as it is for the West. Same thing in the East, thousands of years ago. I mean, it has to come from somewhere. So in the East it came thousands of years ago about the knowledge of being, the self, the subjective knowledge. And the West has been known for the objective knowledge. So, though knowledge has come from East, that doesn't mean that it is Eastern. It is universal. It belongs to everybody on the planet. It's a simple law pertaining to our own system.